Quick question before we get into this. Do you actually use your truck? Or does it just sit in the driveway looking expensive? And if you're watching this in a $70,000 pickup that hasn't hauled a single thing this month, this video is going to hurt a little, but stay with me, because what I'm about to show you could literally save you over $100,000. No exaggeration. I did the math. Drive through any suburban neighborhood on a Saturday morning. Count the pickup trucks in driveways, full size, lifted, chrome everything, pristine paint jobs without a single scratch. Now look closer at those truck beds. Empty, spotless, completely untouched. These trucks haven't carried anything heavier than grocery bags since the day they rolled off the lot. There's a term for these vehicles in automotive circles: pavement princesses. Trucks that exist purely for the image of capability without ever being used for their intended purpose. And today, we're going to expose exactly how this trap operates, who it's designed to catch, and what it's actually costing you. This isn't just about trucks. It's about identity, psychology, and the sneaky ways the auto industry is draining your bank account. Let me take you back to 1990. The pickup truck was a working-class tool. Contractors drove them, farmers drove them, tradespeople drove them. The interiors were basic. Vinyl seats you could hose down, minimal electronics, practical everything. And the average price? Around $15,000. A truck was an affordable tool bought by people who actually needed its capabilities. Now, fast forward to today. The average transaction price for a new pickup truck has now exceeded $58,000. Fully loaded models routinely crack $80,000. Some configurations approach six figures. The Ford F-150 Limited starts above $75,000. The GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate? Same territory. Ram's luxury trims are fighting for the same dollars. These aren't work trucks anymore. They are luxury vehicles wearing truck costumes. The interiors feature heated and cooled leather seats, panoramic sunroofs, 14-speaker premium audio systems, and screens larger than many laptops. The technology rivals anything in the luxury sedan segment. Manufacturers figured out something brilliant. Americans have a deep emotional connection to trucks that goes way beyond utility. Trucks signal capability, self-reliance, and rugged individualism. So they did something genius. They took that emotional identity, and they luxified it. Now you get to feel like a capable, practical person while enjoying heated seats and a massage function. But that emotional engineering comes with a massive price tag, and most buyers cannot actually afford it. Okay, let's run the numbers, because this is where things get ugly. Let's say you earn $75,000 a year, solidly middle class. You decide to buy a nicely equipped full-size truck. Nothing too crazy, just a loaded model around $62,000. You put down $5,000, which wipes out most of your savings. The remaining $57,000 gets financed at 7% interest over 72 months, because that's the only way the payment feels manageable. Your monthly note? $975, but that's just the beginning. Add insurance, $200 per month. Registration and taxes, another $50 averaged out. And fuel? At 14 miles per gallon, driving 15,000 miles a year, at $3.80 per gallon, that's $340 a month. Grand total monthly cost of that truck? Over $1,500 every single month. On a $75,000 salary, your take-home after taxes is roughly $4,800 per month. This truck eats nearly 1/3 of everything you make. And what do financial planners say about transportation costs? Keep it below 15% of gross income. This purchase is nearly double that threshold. But wait, it gets worse. After 6 years of payments totaling over $70,000, what do you have? A truck worth $28,000 to $32,000 on the used market. You paid $75,000 all in. You got back $30,000 in resale value. The net cost of owning that vehicle for 6 years? $45,000, or $625 a month in pure wealth destruction. But here's the part that should really keep you up at night. If you had invested that $625 a month instead in simple index funds averaging 8% returns, over those same 6 years, you'd have roughly $57,000. So the true cost of that truck wasn't $45,000. It was $45,000 plus $57,000 in opportunity cost. That's over $100,000 in wealth, either destroyed or never created, for a vehicle that hauled absolutely nothing. Now here's what makes this trap so effective. It's not stupidity. Smart, hardworking people fall for this all the time. Why? Because of psychology. The first mechanism is identity signaling. Trucks communicate something about their owners: capability, strength, self-reliance. These associations exist even when they're completely disconnected from reality. The accountant who's never towed anything in his life still feels more rugged stepping out of his F250 than he would exiting a Camry. The truck becomes aspirational identity, not transportation. Studies of truck usage patterns consistently show that the vast majority of pickup truck owners use their truck beds fewer than 12 times per year. Many go months without placing anything in the bed. The capability exists entirely in theory. The second mechanism is social proof and normalization. When everyone in your neighborhood drives trucks, truck ownership feels expected. When your coworkers all drive trucks, showing up in a sedan might feel like showing up underdressed to a black tie event. And this normalization makes financial irrationality invisible. What nobody sees is the stress behind those payments, the arguments about money. The retirement accounts sitting empty. Everyone projects financial confidence while privately struggling. The social proof is a collective illusion, maintained by shared reluctance to admit overextension. Here's the sneakiest one. Dealerships train buyers to think in monthly payments, not total cost. The finance manager doesn't ask what you can afford. He asks what monthly payment works for your budget, then structures the deal around that number. Want a $65,000 truck on a $600 budget? Easy. Extend the loan to 84 months. Your payment is $598. Never mind the $15,000 in interest. Never mind that 7 years is an absurdly long time to finance a depreciating asset. This is exactly how people earning solid incomes end up broke. The truck, the house, the other car, student loans. Before long, every dollar is allocated before it even arrives. And then there's mechanism 4, the sunk cost spiral. Once you own the truck, there are constant small upgrades that seem reasonable relative to the original purchase. Upgraded wheels, $3,000. Lift kit, $5,000. Tonneau cover, $1,200. Window tinting, aftermarket exhaust, running boards. Truck owners often spend an additional $5,000 to $15,000 in modifications within the first 2 years. Each addition deepens the financial hole and makes you more emotionally attached. Selling it would mean losing all that invested customization. The sunk costs create psychological barriers to the only financially rational decision, which is getting rid of the thing entirely. Now I want to talk about the mechanism that keeps people trapped even when they realize the mistake. It's called the negative equity cycle, and it might be the most financially devastating pattern in all of automotive retail. Here's how it works. You buy a truck for $62,000. After 2 years of payments, you've paid around $24,000. But the truck is now worth only $42,000. You still owe $48,000. You're $6,000 underwater. You're tired of the truck. The payment is crushing you. You want out. But selling it means writing a $6,000 check to cover the gap. Most people don't have $6,000 lying around. So the dealership offers a solution. Trade it in and roll that $6,000 negative equity into a new loan. Of course, they're not going to roll negative equity into a cheaper vehicle. That doesn't work mathematically. You need to buy something more expensive to absorb the negative equity while keeping payments similar. So now you're trading a $62,000 truck you couldn't afford for a $70,000 truck you really can't afford. The negative equity gets buried. Payments stay the same. You feel like you've solved the problem. In reality, you've made everything worse. You're now $6,000 underwater on the new truck from day one. The cycle continues. Each trade digs the hole deeper. I've seen people carrying $15,000 to $20,000 in negative equity, completely unable to escape. The dealership profits on every transaction, the lender profits on every loan, and the customer sinks further into automotive debt with every solution they're offered. Let me introduce you to two hypothetical families. Both earn $130,000 combined. Both live in similar neighborhoods. Both have 2 kids and similar lifestyles. The only difference? Their approach to vehicles. Family 1 owns 2 vehicles worth a combined $95,000. The husband drives a loaded pickup. The wife drives a 3-row luxury SUV. Their combined monthly vehicle costs, payments, insurance, fuel, exceed $2,600. That's $31,200 every single year going to transportation. Family 2 owns 2 vehicles worth a combined $38,000. Both are reliable 3-year-old Japanese sedans, purchased used. Their combined monthly costs, payments, insurance, fuel, total $950. That's $11,400 annually. The annual difference between these two families is $19,800. Let that number sink in for a moment. Over a decade, Family 1 spends $198,000 more on transportation than Family 2. Invested at 8% returns, that gap grows to roughly $310,000. Over a 20-year career, the gap exceeds $900,000. Family 2 retires with nearly $1 million more than Family 1. Yeah, their cars got them to work just as effectively. Their kids reached school just as reliably. Their groceries made it home just as safely. They simply refused to participate in the pavement princess trap. Both families would describe themselves as middle class. Both feel financial pressure, but only one is actually building wealth. The other is transferring wealth to auto manufacturers, dealerships, insurance companies, and oil refineries. Okay, enough about the trap. Let's talk about how to break free. For the next 3 months, every time you put something in the truck bed, write it down. Every tow, every time you use 4-wheel drive. At the end of 3 months, look at that list honestly. If it's short or empty, you don't need a truck. You want one, and that's okay. But be honest about what you're actually buying. You're purchasing identity and status. Price that accordingly. Payments, insurance, fuel, maintenance, depreciation. Add it all up, divide by 12. That's your monthly transportation burn rate. Now compare it to 15% of your gross monthly income. If you're over that threshold, you're overextended. Period. And before you say, but I might need it someday, Home Depot rents pickup trucks for $19 an hour. A full rental day runs $100 to $150. If you rented a truck 12 times a year, you'd spend about $1,500 annually. Compare that to $18,000 plus to own one. You could rent every single weekend and still come out massively ahead. The most financially successful people I know drive vehicles that would surprise you, paid-off sedans, used SUVs purchased 3 years old, practical transportation that moves them efficiently without draining their accounts. Their driveways look less impressive than their neighbors. But their retirement projections? Completely different story. The pavement princess sits in the driveway announcing success to everyone who drives by. Actual success is being built quietly by people who refused to play that game. They're channeling $1,500 a month into assets that appreciate instead of depreciate. They're buying their future freedom instead of buying the appearance of present capability. That truck will be worth $15,000 in 10 years regardless of how impressive it looks today. The investments bought instead? Dramatically different story. And one last thing worth sitting with. The pavement princess doesn't just cost money, it costs time. 7 years of mandatory payments means 7 years where quitting isn't an option. 7 years where financial flexibility doesn't exist. The truck payment becomes a chain linking you to whatever job covers it. Financial independence isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about reducing mandatory expenses to the point where work becomes optional. Every unnecessary expense extends the timeline to freedom. The pavement princess might add 5 to 10 years to your working life. That's not just money, that's years of your life, traded for the appearance of capability you never actually use. The choice is yours, but now you understand what you're actually choosing between. It was never really about the truck. I'm Tara, and if this video opened your eyes even a little, do me a favor right now. Smash that like button. It tells YouTube to show this to more people who need to hear it. Subscribe and hit the bell. Every week, I break down the real financial traps keeping hardworking people broke. Share this with someone who needs to see it. You might literally save them $100,000. And drop in the comments, what's your monthly vehicle cost? Be honest. No judgment here.